Welcome to Fantastic Fungi Reimagine album. These are our live music events, and I'm Marcina Hale.
And I'm Stephen Apkon.
And today we have amazing guests. We were just talking with them. So Deva Premal Miten, and we are pleased to have them with us today in their involvement in one of the most, there they are. Hi.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us.
And we're just talking a little bit about the Reconsider album that came out. It's actually a double album, and it's inspired by the movie Fantastic Fungi, which was done obviously from Louis Schwartzberg, who did an amazing film that is touching the world #1 in documentaries right now in Apple. And the gift that he brought into the world of bringing the message of Paul Stamets in the Mycelium Kingdom. And just like the Mycelium Kingdom, it keeps growing. The message keeps growing, keeps moving, and it's moving now into the music world, into the art world, into this place where vibration and sound and the ability to reimagine the world that we are in this time is coming at a really important time in many of our lives.
And we are so grateful to have you both here with us today.
Thanks.
Oh, we got you muted. There you go.
Yeah, we loved your movie so much. We're very honored and happy to be able to share some of ourselves with such a great project. Really cool.
Well, it's been amazing to watch how the film has touched so many people, but then the album, it's almost like putting the idea out there, and all of the right people, all of the people who we would have wanted so much to be involved in this project. It was almost like nobody waiting for the invitation, but everybody just raising their hands and being a part of it. But when the two of you came into this project, we knew we had something special. So,
and one of the ways that we are actually bringing this, making it possible, is through a Kickstarter. And one of the reasons why we're doing this is because we're using the ability for the community to help support the creation of this album. It's not an individual thing, change or projects. It's always collaboration. And it's the idea of where do we put our time, where our energy and our money, what do we support? And the beauty of it is that you can participate. And participation, actually, you also get benefits here because you can have a double album if you think about each individual song, it's one thing, but together it creates a journey. And so we want to really, encourage you to go and support the Kickstarter.
And I think what's important about it is that it is both this notion of us all giving birth to the project,
right?
But also the fact that the film was really based on the importance of recognizing the intelligence of nature and our need to shift consciousness, especially at this critical moment. And so the project was conceived as a way of supporting the education and the awareness around the medical and the therapeutic benefits of these organisms. So it's really to allow us to do that work and to bring that out into the world even more.
Yeah, so we'd love to hear from you about what inspired you from the film, and why did you join the project?
And you actually met Paul years ago, you're saying.
Yeah, so somehow I just I never forget that, because that was the first time that I was introduced to the power of the fungi as such, and it was at a festival in Australia, Uplift Festival in 2012, I think it was. And there he was with his hat that was made out of and he was just such a beautiful spirit and really embodied that sense of community connection. Like he immediately invited us to stay in his house, so we didn't even know us, and just that sense of community, which I then found out is the spirit of the fungi or mushrooms, like that connection and that invisible connection, which is so beautiful. It's kind of happens in without underneath like everything, but we can't maybe see it immediately.
It kind of reflects our lives, because with the mantras, they're the same. We feel them connecting with, kindred spirits and like-minded souls all over the planet. And it's, so we totally relate to the movie on that level.
I love that you said that, Miten, about the movement, because when I think about both of you and traveling so much, over these past years, I have this image of the mycelium, of you sort of taking your music and your energy and message all over the place and dropping spores everywhere you go, and it's so beautiful to think about.
And also, Miten had a phase where he was listening a lot to Terence McKenna, like he just listened to so many discourses, and I haven't really done that much myself, but it really, that story of him saying that he felt that it was the mushrooms that created the evolution of us to become humans and to become, and I never forget that. So I feel they are really like from outer space. So they're really like a invitation to go beyond this earthly plane.
And again, I can relate that to the mantras. They're so mysterious and so mystical, and somehow in a way they're scientifically there's a science to mantra. It was a time when people were experimenting with how sound affects us, and like a mantra is a refined sound bite. It's something that is created. You have to think of the rishis of India, working on what sounds affect us, what sound does what happens when we chant that for, and then they get to a time when they realize, it's a 108 cycles, it enters the whole system. And it's in a way, again, I just relate this whole thing. I just see that we're very connected, the four of us right now, sitting here talking.
What's funny, these screenings, after the screenings, different people come up to you and they tell you different information, and going off that sound vibration. After one of the screenings, somebody told me that they were doing a study and that they found that the song of the birds actually had the vibration that allowed plants to grow. Yeah,
we're all connected for sure.
And I wanted to say, I remember when I saw you in concert. Actually, I was really gifted a ticket to go and watch you. I was exhausted, and I really wanted to go, though. So I went there, and there was an opening show, and it was really beautiful. But there was something else that happened when you both entered the stage, and I'll never forget it, because it happened in the whole auditorium, and you could like hear a pin drop. And it was as if everything was transformed before you even spoke, before you even sang.
Well, that's what we learned from our guru Osho, really. When we started singing and chanting, we had a great teacher. And, what we learned, that the mantras have to appear from silence. It's not something as an entertainment or something where we kick it in and or whatever. It's something that needs to be connected with, and so we need time before we play a note, and it settles everything down. And so we learned that. See, what happens is if you if you make music that appears out of silence and you go on a journey with it, and then when it goes back into silence, it's a deeper silence than the one you left.
Mm-hmm.
And during the course of a couple of hours, we can go deep down into ourselves, into the joy and this connection to inner peace, you know. And so that's what's kept us going. It's just we love to do it. It's not that we have to do it, or we, you know, it's not a career move, chanting mantras, you know. It's just something that happened, you know.
And we don't have a couple hours, but we do have some time. And we would love for you guys to take us on a journey with your music right now, if you would.
Sure, we'll do that.
We would love that.
I'm so undergot you now. I promise not to. Mm-hmm. Either that or seven chakras a bit. I'm just thinking. Just a minute. Oh, maybe eating ready.
Okay.
This is
This is for the goddess of love, Ochun, also goddess of sweet water. So we're here in Costa Rica and it's rainy season and it's raining, such sweet rain, and the nature is just bursting with life and also mushrooms. Yeah, so that's that spirit of abundance and lushness and life. Chakiniba nita uchu cheke nitaya ide were nita uchu ide were nita uchu ide were nitaya uchakiniba nita uchu cheke nitaya ide were nita uchu ide were nita uchu ide were nitaya uchakiniba nita uchu cheke nitaya ide were Yeah, we didn't know what to play, but anyway, that felt like a sweet.
Do you know that's like one of my favorite songs? It makes me cry all the time. So I'm sitting here crying. I don't even know what the words mean, but I sing it and I don't even know what they mean. Could you tell me what that song is?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's for Ochun. She's the goddess of love.
Ochun.
And goddess of sweet water. And this particular song is about this brass bracelet that is a symbol of being initiated with Ochun. So it's from West Africa, and they also sing it in Cuba. And it's just such a, I don't know, just for us it always, for me it always feels jungly for some reason. I always feel like green when I
Yeah, well, it's the it's the water element is so strong in that piece. When we recorded it, we recorded with a beautiful Brazilian percussion player, and when he heard us sing it, he was like, "Oh, tune!" And so he went into the kitchen and brought back to the studio 2 buckets fill up with water, and he played the water as.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah, it's on the album, and it's just so sweet. It feels like David's just sitting by the side of the river, kicking the water as she's singing. You know, it's really beautiful.
The tears are appropriate then.
You know, it's to me, it's so innocent. It's so, like you said, simple. It's loving, but it just brings me back to a state of like beauty. That's all I can say. It's beautiful.
There's something so wonderfully organic about your music, and so grounding. You know, so rooted. I mean, even as it goes up here, you feel the roots come down, like the mycelium and the mushroom fruiting, and it's. You know, it's. We always say that it's like the mycelium wait for the perfect conditions to fruit, and in so many ways, this is that moment.
Yeah, I think because the music was born from the intention to create the deeper silence. It's over these years, it's also become our tantric experience. You know, it's like for us, it's making love now. We just play and we don't like now.
Don't
we
tell
didn't.
all our secrets.
What's it?
Don't tell.
It's just the 4 of us. It's okay.
Yeah. So but I think that is where the depth and this comes from, because we're pretty much 24/7 for 30 years, and we're always in each other's pockets somehow. But it just feels really easy, and as long as I do what she tells me.
And you've created a wonderful community both around the world wherever you travel, but also online now. A sangha that meets on Saturdays. Can you tell us about that?
And I think that's really interesting too, because in one way, we do know I actually have a background as a therapist. I'm trained as a psychedelic therapist, and I'm very passionate about that because we're dealing with a lot of depression, hopelessness, and one of the biggest issues is loneliness.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how in this time of COVID, we're so separated, but it almost gives us that time to go into that silence that you were talking about before. We haven't had the time to be in the silence, to be able to sing a new song.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and in that then is you've had a different thing emerge. If you want to talk about with your Saturdays.
Yeah, I mean, it came when we were in Costa Rica when the world changed in March, and then decided to just stay here. We anyway had nowhere else to go really. A place to stay.
We just canceled the whole tour of South America. So we just couldn't go anywhere. So we just said we'd stay. And then it was like middle of March, and then we decided to just play every day. So every day we would at 2 p.m. Costa Rica time, like 4 p.m. your time, for example, we would be in our garden singing, chanting Gayatri mantra, Om mantra. And we did that for 77 days without a break. So we just were there every day. And in that time, such a strong community emerged that we didn't really, we knew was there because obviously we've been traveling and we've been meeting many people in concerts in all different cities and countries. But, many people also can't ever come or, are not close to where we're going to play or just discovered this community. And so there were every day, there were about 5,000 people online at that moment.
and then overnight, more people would watch it, obviously because of time zones, and it just that's. So like when you said loneliness, it's really, I come back again and again that connection is the only thing we all long for as humans, I think. And that connection can be to anything. It can be to each other. It can be to a cause. It can be to God, whatever we want to call it. But when we feel connected to something, we are somehow okay, even if we are going through stuff and we are sad but when we're connected, we are somehow feeling, yeah, it's okay, I can go through this. And this community really made us all feel connected, and I feel like I am with everybody, and we get up together, and we like I feel like we're in a kind of a retreat together or something.
Yeah, like 11,000 people or something.
Yeah.
No. And then we, after 77 days, we felt like this is good now for the daily phase, and we entered a weekly phase, which has been going on ever since June. So that's always Saturdays at 4 p.m. New York time or 1 p.m. LA time.
And where can people find it?
It's live on Instagram and Facebook, on our Instagram and Facebook site. And I mean, we've had so many messages of people saying that that's what made them get through this time, that this connection. And then we said, let's create a global Gayatri Sangha Facebook group where we can also meet more together. And immediately 11,000 people signed up. And the connection between the people is so touching, like the support for each other, and the prayers for each other, and the feeling and the compassion, and the it's just, and also the depth, like you would think, oh yeah, it's social media or online or whatever, but the questions people put into the field, and people answer each other with such wisdom, and it's so beautiful. I'm just in love with this community, and I feel really honored to be a part of it, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow, like our Sunday meeting,
So are we.
Yeah, we are too.
You hold such beautiful space, and I think that the place of connection is actually, that is the longing.
Right.
And there's a community that's emerged over these last years also around bringing out these medicines for people to be able to work with, to address some of the most pressing mental health issues and suffering that's out there from PTSD and depression and the things that reflect the society that we've been creating. And the mushrooms offer such important medicine for that. And
as is music.
As is music. We talk about music as medicine and mushrooms as medicine.
Well,
yeah, it's all together, no?
Yeah.
I mean,
music is a very important part that they teach, even with the use of psychedelics as therapy, and it's interesting.
And one of the things I want to say about connection is that, again, we want people to join us in the creation and the emergence of this music and this album. And it's not about how much. That's not what it's about at all. It's for people to lend their voices and lend their energy and their hearts and their spirits, and for us to do this together. And
the idea of Reimagine, it came because, we've reached a certain time in our world of the creation where we know that we have to make changes. The current road that we were on, even pre-COVID, was unsustainable. And it's really sort of amazing how a virus can get us to do things like go home, be interior, have to spend time looking at our lives, the way we are treating ourselves, each other, the planet, and watching how the planet is coming back to life. And in this period of time, it is music that can be there so much to guide us on that pathway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
An incredible time to be alive. I mean, I think it's epic. It's an epic time to be alive.
Yeah. You made it very special for us today. We really are so grateful for you lending your giving your hearts, your voices, your spirit, your presence to not just to this project, but to everything that you both touch. And you have touched us for many years. So it's really sweet for us to go into this this weekend.
Is it too much to ask to play something small?
You guys are like us, and so there was so.
Would you mind playing something? Do you have something else? Would you mind playing us out?
Yes, now we just
Which one?
the Tada, no?
Oh,
No. Oh, what are you gonna do?
I was going to play that.
No.
Did we not play them, Tara?
No, not live yet. We played it to you guys.
Oh, I get so confused.
This is for the white Tada. She's the goddess of healing, of eternal life and healing. And she's white, and I don't know, I feel fungi are white. I don't know, not all of them obviously, but I feel a white light. So that's our connection here. Mama yu pune jana putim guru soha. Om tare ture mama yu pune jana putim guru soha. Om tare ture mama yu pune jana putim guru soha. Om tare ture mama ayu pune jana putim guru soha. Om tare ture mama ayu pune jana putim guru soha. Om tare ture mama ayu pune jana putim guru soha. Om tare ture mama ayu pune jana putim guru soha. Om tare ture mama ayu pune jana putim guru soha. Om tare ture mama ayu pune jana putim guru soha. Om tare ture mama ayu pune jana putim guru soha. Om tare ture mama ayu pune jana putim guru soha. Thank you.
It's hard to know how to break that silence like that. You just want to keep it there. So much gratitude for you and what you're creating in this world, what you're bringing into it, and for being a part of this project, but just for being who you are. Thank you.
Thank you. Wish you all the best with this beautiful album, guys.
Thank you so much, really. And for those people who haven't had a chance to see the film, you can see fantasticfungi.com in a variety of places on Apple TV, but also here on Vimeo. There's the link. And the album will be out September 18th. We can't wait. And we invite everybody to join us in building this amazing mycelial network. Join us on Kickstarter. Join us with the album.
And join us at
Special thanks to Parmita Pushman, Amber Rubarth, Louis Schwartzberg, Paul Stamets. But in this moment, to both of you, to Deva and to
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Beautiful to meet you. Hope we meet again.
we'll send we look forward to it too.
Yes.
Send everybody off with a short video from the album, and we wish everybody a great weekend wherever you are. Much love and gratitude. Thank you.
Yes. Namaste.
Namaste.
In times like these, we have the opportunity to deepen our connection with ourselves, each other, and the natural world. A group of diverse artists has come together to create Fantastic Fungi, Reimagine. I'm Amber Rubarth. I'm a producer and artist on the album. After watching the documentary Fantastic Fungi, I felt called to bring artists together to collaborate with this belief that community enriches our vitality. The idea resonated. We now have a 24-track double album celebrating the intelligence of nature and our interconnectedness with the mycelial kingdom.
And it's that biodiversity that gives sustainability to the ecosystem. The mushroom mycelium represents rebirth, regeneration, rejuvenation.
We've launched a Kickstarter to cover the initial production costs, so proceeds will go to the important work of building awareness around therapeutic benefits of mushrooms. We have some incredible rewards thanks to our partners, and we need a little help getting to our goal. Thank you so much, and enjoy the music.